Good evening, everyone. The Kutak Dodds prizes are named in honor of the late Robert J. Kutak, a member of the First Legal Services Corporation Board, and the late Kenneth R. Dodds, former partner at my law firm Kutak Rock. On behalf of NLADA and Kutak Rock, I'm pleased to present the 2022 Kutak Dodds prizes to Aidin Castillo, Director of the Immigrants' Rights Practice at Centro Legal de la Raza, and Fred Nakamura, Associate Director of Litigation Policy at Neighborhood Legal Services of Los Angeles County. Aidin, would you join me on stage? Okay. Aidin has a remarkable personal story that is matched by her career in immigration law. Aidin grew up as an undocumented immigrant, experiencing the threat of deportation firsthand. She became one of the first undocumented immigrants to be admitted to the practice of law in 2011. Aidin has represented hundreds of immigrants in obtaining lawful status and citizenship. She specializes in representing immigrants who are at risk of imminent removal from the United States. Aidin has also spent years of advocacy and public policy work. This includes advocating to expand DACA. Also, as an advocate for higher education for immigrants, Aidin co-founded Scholars Promoting Education Awareness and Knowledge. This group was one of the first student-led support groups for undocumented students. We are so honored to give you a glimpse into Aidin's inspiring story. If you could please take a look at the video with us.
I am Aidin Castillo, and I am the directing attorney of the Immigrants' Rights Practice at Centro Legal de la Raza in Oakland, California.
My decision to become an immigration attorney and to specialize in removal proceedings, or what most people know as deportation defense, really originates from my lived experience. I am an immigrant. I was born in Mexico, and I was undocumented for many years in the United States. And when I was a child, my family and I were put into removal proceedings. And that experience really was life-changing for me in the most difficult way. I remember that even though I was only a child when that happened, I made a commitment to myself, I made a commitment to my parents and to my community that I would fight against the injustice that is deportation. I remember having this realization that I didn't want anyone else to experience the fear, the uncertainty, and the sense of powerlessness that I felt as a child in removal proceedings. For people who are deported, the consequences of being deported from the US are devastating, and many times those consequences are irreparable. It means that you are torn apart from your family, from your community, and for many people, deportation happens after having lived in the United States for many decades. It means that they are leaving behind the country where they have built an entire life. For other people, deportation can also mean that they will be forced to return to their country of origin, where they face potential violence, torture, and even death. So despite these incredibly high stakes, the US government forces immigrants to fight this system alone. And that occurs today because the US government does not provide government-funded attorneys to immigrants who are in removal proceedings. I've been really fortunate to be a deportation defense attorney and to dedicate my career to this work. I am really a part of an amazing group of advocates, and I feel humbled to have been nominated for this award by my colleagues, from whom I have learned a tremendous amount, how to be a more bold and zealous advocate. And I am really appreciative to the NLADA, to Kutak Dodds for this award, and really to be in the company of current and past honorees who have had a bold vision for justice. So thank you very much to my community who inspires me every day. Thank you very much to you for this award.
So, on behalf of NLADA and the Robert J. Kutak Foundation, I am pleased to present the Defender Kutak Dodds Prize to Aidin Castillo.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be back in DC, and I wanted to first and foremost thank NLADA, the Robert J. Kutak Foundation, Robert Rock Firm. It is really humbling to receive an award for something that really has been the biggest privilege for me. When I was 11 years old and I decided to become a deportation defense attorney, I could have never imagined what that journey would have looked like for me. I certainly could not have imagined that our immigration system is so broken that I would go on to be undocumented for another 30 years, and that today my parents and my family remain without status. That, unfortunately, is the reality for millions, over 11 million immigrants in the United States, who by any other measure are Americans. So I feel incredibly humbled to receive this award, not on my behalf, but truly on behalf of everybody that has helped me in my journey, all of my mentors, criminal defense attorneys who partner with me to ensure that our clients who are non-citizens are not faced with the double punishment of deportation. Each year, thousands of immigrants, many of them children, many of them families, are forced to face deportation proceedings because our government does not provide funded removal defense attorneys. It really is an honor for me to dedicate my career to this work. It is an honor to lead and mentor a team of advocates that are working to dismantle a system that has torn apart thousands of families. And so I really am so appreciative to have a platform, an NLADA, that recognizes this work, because it truly is work where people's lives are at stake. Thank you very much for this recognition. It is my privilege. It is something that I remain committed to do for the rest of my life until hopefully there is no longer a need for removal defense attorneys.
So, the award, thank you. So, Fred Nakamura is this year's winner of the Civil Kutak Dodds Prize. And unfortunately, he's not able to be here with us tonight, but I do know he was humbled to receive the award, and I know he would be here if he could. So let me share why Fred was selected. His incredible compassion and dedication are just the start. Fred has been helping the poor and underrepresented since 1976, first as a paralegal, then after law school with Neighborhood Legal Services for 9 years. Fred's approach to his practice is holistic. Wanting to increase his involvement with Asian American communities, he went to work for Legal Aid of Los Angeles. He established clinics to help clients with language barriers. Fred returned to Neighborhood Legal Services in 2000, where he has litigated numerous complex cases. Fred is always willing to mentor new attorneys, paralegals, and interns. Fred's contribution to the legal service community will expand far into the future. His direct services to his clients have been life-changing for his clients and their families. His mentorship to other advocates will influence their own success, present and future. Would you now join me in watching a short video to get a glimpse of Fred's inspiring story?
I'm Fred Nakamura, and I'm an attorney with Neighborhood Legal Services of LA County. I very much appreciate getting this award and this recognition, but it's very humbling to be personally recognized when my work has always been a product of great mentorship, my coworkers, and the training I've received. This award made me remember how many good coworkers I've had over the last 40 years. My accomplishment is directly related to the support and the efforts of my coworkers and the leadership of my program. I was very fortunate to have received very supportive management that allowed me to serve the community, and also the leadership that they provided to me. This award also represents not only my commitment to addressing the needs of the poor and disabled, but also the commitment that the country made by funding legal services in its war against poverty. In the 60s, this country made a national recognition that giving people's rights is useless unless you gave them the tools to exercise those rights. And that was basically the purpose of me becoming a legal aid attorney. Also, much of my effort was dependent upon the numerous times I used the resources of the national support centers, the backup centers, and the incredible cases that were brought by legal service attorneys throughout the country that transform consumer and tenant rights. And now that we have the internet, our ability to work together has been greatly enhanced, and we can use the full scope of the incredible legal service community that has been created in our fight against poverty. This organization has been key to whatever I have accomplished, and I thank you for this award.
Accepting Fred's award on his behalf is Yvonne Maria Jimenez, President and CEO of Neighborhood Legal Services. And I'm sorry I mispronounced your name even though you talked to me.
You're fine. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to be here to accept Fred's award. He couldn't be with us because tragically his mother passed away a few days ago. Still kills me to know that. I've known Fred for more than 40 years. He is truly a community lawyer with a lot of passion to make a difference for others, in particular those most vulnerable in our society. More than 40 years ago, when Fred was a new lawyer working in the poorest neighborhoods of Los Angeles County and representing tenants, he was known to bring a camera and a toolbox to his clients' homes. The first, to document the problems, and the second, to repair anything he could. More than 40 years later, and after decades of successful legal advocacy spanning multiple practice areas and impacting the lives of tens of thousands of people in Los Angeles County, little has changed. Fred still brings his toolbox to work every day. Earlier this year, you could find Fred walking up and down 16 flights of stairs to bring food, water, basic necessities to elderly and senior tenants living in 16 floors of a tenement without one single working elevator. Fred is a community lawyer with a significant passion to make a difference for those less fortunate than the rest of us. Neighborhood Legal Services has been blessed to have Fred working with us for so many decades. We are grateful to you for honoring him this evening and giving him the 2022 Kutak Dodds Prize for exceptional work in civil legal aid. Fred asked that I read a few sentences for him, and so I'll end my remarks with his words. Thank you for this award. I should not be receiving this award alone. There are dozens of people who should be here with me. They are the ones who make it possible for me to do this work. They are the co-workers, mentors, trainers, and visionary program directors who have guided me to having an impact on my clients' cases and lives, and to improve the economic status of so many in our communities. Thank you to all for this recognition. I am truly honored. Thank you.